Good morning, Sunrise Beauty Team. Hi, it's Chris Arnold, your Avon Independent Sales Leader, and I've got your Tuesday topic for you. And I am doing it on Facebook Live in our group, so it's still pretty early in the day on Tuesday, so I don't know who all is hanging around at the moment, but if you hop on, say hi in the comments, and you'll get when it goes up on YouTube, you'll know that you were watching live. So I will stop occasionally to say hello. There's Miss Nancy with the little heart there. So as happens a lot on Tuesday morning, I got up this morning and I was like, I don't really know what topic I want to cover. I kind of have an idea, but I think I've already talked about that. And so this is kind of, what I go through on Tuesday mornings. It's like, oh, I got to do a Tuesday topic and I don't know what the topic is. So on one of the other Facebook groups, somebody happened to ask a question that I thought would make a very good topic for a Tuesday topic, and it was about helping customers choose their colors. So I figured, I needed a topic for the Tuesday topic, and this was easier than typing out all of my suggestions in a comment on Facebook. So I will start with foundation, because of course that's kind of the hardest thing for folks to pick out is foundation, especially when, of course we are limited by the fact that we're looking at colors in a brochure. And the thing to keep in mind when we're looking at colors in a brochure is our brochures are printed like magazines, and the magazine printing process takes 4 colors of ink and mixes them together in different combinations to get all of the colors in our brochure. And let me find the makeup section, not the to get all of the colors in our brochure with just those 4 colors. So think about it like your printer, like my printer has 4 different ink cartridges and it mixes those together to get these. But the actual process of creating the colors, our research and development lab, our manufacturing has, infinite pigments that they can work with. And so it is impossible to print the exact color in the brochure. Avon does a great job, gets them as close as they possibly can, but we are still working with a facsimile of the color, not the actual color. So matching foundation, starting from the basics. All you have is the brochure. If you don't have any testers or samples or anything, what I would recommend is, first off, you can kind of narrow down the colors a little bit by determining the customer's undertone. And that's sometimes a little tricky. Some people are more, everybody's on a scale between warm and cool and somewhere in between. Very few people are completely warm or completely cool. Most people are in the middle somewhere. But some tips that you can use to kind of help determine their undertone is, when you look at their skin, do you see more of a peachy shade or more pink? You can use where you can see their veins, usually in the wrist. If they have if they appear bluer, then they're going to be more cool. If they appear kind of green, they've got a more warm skin tone. So basically, cool is more toward the pinks and blues. Warm is more toward the peaches, orange, yellows, and things like that. And then you have folks like me that have a cool undertone to their skin, but then I have red splotches in my skin. So I will say, there is a lot of trial and error with color. And some of it is just finding colors that you like. Some of it is if, you're a little bit harder to match. So once you kind of determine that, you can kind of look at the colors on the swatches. You can see that some of them look a little more pink, some of them look a little more yellow. The warmer skin tones, like Miss Nancy, are going to want to go with the more yellowy tones, and the cooler ones are going to want to go more pink, or more, or then there's some colors that really don't look like they go either way, and those are more neutral colors. So start by picking 3 shades that you think could be the right shade. And you can do that kind of by holding it up along the jawline. Hold the color up, and you can kind of get an idea which 3 are the closest match. And the reason we match foundation along the jawline is because a lot of folks have a lighter skin tone on under their chin and on their neck than they do on their face. So if you were to match to like your cheek or something like that, it might be too dark and it may not blend well at the jawline. So you want to, you know, go along the jawline so that you can kind of match both areas, and hopefully they don't have a huge difference between the two areas. Sometimes you'll see where folks will say, you know, trying it on the back of your hand or the inside of your wrist, but most of us, the inside of our wrist is not the same color as our face. So you do want to match to that jawline, because that's the place where you're going to need to be able to blend the most. So you want to pick the 3 colors that, 2 or 3 colors that look like they might be the right shade. If possible, get some samples. That's probably the least expensive way to test out colors. Testers would then be the next option. But what I do a lot of times is I will just order both colors. You know, Avon does have a guarantee for if colors don't match. So a lot of times I will order both colors. And then the color that doesn't match, I will either keep that as a tester, or I will return it if it doesn't match. So usually if I'm going to do that, if I know I'm going to end up returning one, I'll only order 2. I won't order 3. If I'm working with samples, I might do 3 different shades. So the way you want to test it is you take the foundation and you put a swatch, put 2 or 3 swatches, different colors along the jawline. And the color that matches is the one that disappears. So the one that you can't tell that it's there anymore. So that's my tips for picking foundations. For other colors, you kind of still go back to that warm and cool. You know, we have a lot of wonderful shades to work with in, for example, our eyeshadows and that. And you just kind of go back to that same warm and cool. And then the great thing about colors, and real quick, Nancy had a great point about the foundation colors. Sometimes you have to blend 2 colors to create a perfect match, because people come in an infinite number of skin tones. Like there's, no matter how many foundations you have in a shades that you have in a line, there are still going to be people that there is not an exact match for. So you're not weird, Nancy. You're perfectly normal. And yeah, sometimes you do have to mix 2 shades. And the other part of Nancy's comment was great, that sometimes you shift shades between summer and winter. If you get more shade in the summer, some people get more tan in the summer and need to go a little bit darker shade. So great, thank you for sharing that, Nancy. That's why I like doing this live, because people will remember things that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. That's great. So going back to, you know, your colors, your more colorful, like your eyeshadows and things like that, and lipsticks, you still go into that kind of warm or cool. But again, most people are really somewhere in the middle. They can go, while I wear predominantly cool shades, there are still some warm shades that look good on me. And so really, to help them pick colors, I like to look at what colors they like to wear. And in most cases, the colors that somebody likes to wear are the colors that they look good and feel good in. So it's not necessarily their favorite color, because I'm lucky enough that my favorite color actually is a great color for me. But some other people may have, you know, if they're very warm coloring, they may have, you know, their favorite color might be, you know, a certain shade of pink. And if they're fair skin with red hair, and it may not work for them. So sometimes your favorite color is not the best color to go by, but go by the clothing that you feel the best in, that the customer feels the best in. Now, if they tell you that they feel best in black, that's maybe more that they're being influenced by society saying that you have to wear black because it's slimming. So sometimes you have to get a little bit more in depth. You know, you can take their word for it that, you know, if you see them a lot, just think about what colors you think they look the most vibrant and radiant in. And are they cool or warm or more neutral colors? And you can also use metals. You can use silver and gold as a trick to kind of figure it out. Years ago, when we had our certified beauty advisor classes, it was an all-day class that we went, one of the things that we learned was we got these fabric swatches that were true silver, true gold. So not a really yellow gold, not a really, you know, brown gold, but a true silver and a true gold, just like you would have, you know, if you were doing silver tone and gold tone jewelry. And you would hold those swatches up to under their chin and see which color looked better. So if they look better with the silver swatch, then they're have a cooler undertone. If they look better with the gold swatch, they have a warmer undertone. If they look good with both, then they're closer to the middle and they can really wear anything. So you can use that kind of as a guideline. You can use, and remember too, asking which their favorite metals to wear are is not necessarily going to tell you which one they look better in, because, you know, some people have there's a perception about, you know, I want to wear gold because it's more valuable, sort of thing. So there's the status aspect that goes along with it. But if they truly wear, like, I wear almost exclusively silver jewelry because I feel better in silver jewelry. It goes better with my coloring than the gold does. Today I have a little bit of gold on. It's part of my top, but it goes well with the outfit. And I'm not like super cool. I'm, you know, close to the middle, so you can wear both. So if they prefer, they feel better, they feel more vibrant, more radiant, feel like they look their best in silver or gold, that can guide you that way too. And then ultimately with, you know, choosing colors for eyeshadows, going by eye color is a great way. You can, you know, pick a color that is contrast to the eye color. So for example, green, actually any eye color looks great in purple. But like blue eyes would tend to go more toward brown shades, or peachy coral shades look great on brown, on blue eyes. Brown eyes can go more into the bluer shades and have brown eyes with like the teal shades. Look fantastic. Green eyes, of course, they pop with the purple, or, you know, you can wear the browns opposite those. So picking colors a little bit based on their eye color, but also, again, picking based on what colors they feel good in. Good morning, Rosanna. Rosanna, if you have any tips to add to this too, I know you're really good with picking colors and makeup tips and that. Feel free to throw some in the comment there. So it all comes down to what do they feel good in. And that's ultimately what matters the most, is when they put on their makeup in the morning, do they like what they see in the mirror? So that's, you know, just a few different tips to kind of help pick colors. Lipstick colors are maybe a little bit different, you know, because we don't have, you know, lipstick colors pretty much fall into pinks, reds and corals, browns, and kind of more purpley colors. And so, you know, lipstick is a little trickier, but, you know, again, have fun. Use the kind of warm, cool, and neutral to help you out. If they've got warmer undertones, they can go more into the orangey reds if they're looking for a red lipstick. If they have cooler tones and they want a red, they want to go more into the berries and plums. Again, with the pinks, you know, you've got a range of pinks. Some of them are a little bit warmer pink. They've got a little bit more of that peachy tone to them. Some of them are a much cooler pink. They're more that purpley or reddish pink. So you can kind of just go by, and again, it's what they feel good in, what they like the way they look in. And of course, you know, I love this chart. This chart is perfect for this conversation. So, you know, colors up here are more neutral, but one thing to keep in mind with the lips is our natural lip color. When we're thinking of a neutral, natural color for lips, our lips are not, you know, typically we think of neutral, we think of browns and beiges, but our natural lip color is some version of a pink color usually, or a pinkish brown. So neutral, natural looking colors are more likely going to be in the pink ranges, and actually colors like this wild cherry here that are kind of this one here that are kind of a purpley brownish pink look really good. Actually, this is one of those colors. This is the Mark lip treatment in All Butter Now. That's the name of it. I knew there was a punny name for it because it's Mark. In Mauvelous. And this is the type of color that looks good on probably, I would say 99% of people look good in this type of shade. And then if you want to get, you know, more adventurous, you can go for something like a nice pop of red like the model has. So I hope that kind of helps. Yeah, Nancy's got plum colors, but she'll wear any color. Nancy looks great in like some vivid pink colors. And that's another tip with, you know, makeup colors is, you know, we have the 90-day guarantee. Try something wild. If you see a color and you like it on the page, get it and try it. The worst thing that'll happen is that you or your customer won't like the way it looks when you have it on, and you send it back. It's no big deal. It's one of those things, you know, you see a color, it's a wild color, you've never tried it before, you don't know how you'll like it. Try it. You know, and again, there is some trial and error to picking out colors. You may, you know, try a color and go, you know, I don't really like I sort of like it, but I don't really like the way this looks. And you can adjust. It gives you a starting point to fine tune the color choices. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, Nancy. The Mark Paint Pout in Shocking. That one looks absolutely fabulous on you. It's, I mean, and it's not a color that a lot of people would think to try. Let me see if I can find the shade in the book real quick that we're talking about here. Where are my Mark colors? There we go. Let's see, Mark Lip Paint in Shocking. So it's this bright pink up here in the corner, and that looks fantastic on Nancy. So let's see what other comments we got going here. Oh, Rosanna said thanks. She's flattered. Said she doesn't actually coordinate her makeup colors. Somehow it just all puts itself together. That just means you're naturally good at picking colors. I bet you were probably really good in art class in school too. So that you just have a natural knack. You have a good eye for picking colors, and that's probably why you know that you don't feel like you have to really put much effort into color coordinating makeup colors. So yeah, and Nancy's got the blue undertones. That's why that bright pink works, because it's a very blue pink. It's a very very cool pink. So and that just goes to show, you know, just have some fun with your makeup colors. You know, really foundation is the only one that it's kind of like there's a hard and fast, you find the right color for you and that's the right color for you kind of thing. But then again, you know, again, that does change maybe seasonally. As we get older, our skin tone changes somewhat. But everything else, there's really no hard and fast rules for choosing color. It's just get in there, have fun, and wear what makes you feel good. So I hope that you guys have found this helpful, and I will share this with the person who originally inspired me to do this topic. And I will see you guys again in a couple of weeks with a new Tuesday topic. And as always, if you have any ideas what you'd like to see on the Tuesday topic, shoot me a message, because you know, you never know, you may be helping me out on some Tuesday morning when I have no idea what topic to talk about. So bye guys, see you later.